Hey everybody, wanted to come at you with an update on the 75-gallon build. Pretty pleased with the recent updates. So without further ado, let's kind of move on and show you what's new with the tank. So as you can see, the aquascape is illuminated now. We've got the Ecotech XR30Ws above it. I've got the short rail kit, and I'm just hanging it from a temporary fixture right now until my brackets come in. But I'm pretty pleased with the way the aquascape looks underneath the light. You don't really know what the scape's going to look like until you actually start to see the shadowing effect and all that good stuff. So I'm pretty happy with the way the aquascape looks, and I'm even happier with the way the tank looks underneath the lights. I've also got the protein skimmer in. So this is the Vertex Omega 130. I'm in a break-in period right now. This is actually about 20 hours in. I started at about noon yesterday. And what we do here is we actually run it with the tube closed and without the cap for 24 hours. And what this does, supposedly, is help decrease the break-in period. But from what I've heard, it may be a while anyway. In the middle section there's just some live rock that I had and carbon in a bag, and then in the return section my two Eheim heaters and the return pump. So not much new other than the protein skimmer, but just to kind of show you what's going on in here. Super fine bubbles, and almost tickles to touch the bubbles. There's so many of them. Yeah, so I actually made a little stand. It's supposed to sit in about 7.5 to 8 inches of water, and my sump height sits about 9 inches. So I just cut a couple little pieces of PVC and stuck it on some egg crate. It's not the prettiest thing in the whole world, but I'm going to try and get Elite Aquatics to make me a stand so everything matches. You guys know about the auto top off. So I actually just had to take my original temporary fixture and add a couple inches on either side so I didn't rub against the trim. So that's kind of what I did there. Yeah, so I have the lighting the lighting power supplies kind of just temporarily standing here. What I plan on doing with all this stuff eventually is I'm either going to make another stand or some kind of panel for like the auto top off, mechanism, the return pump mechanism. I'm also going to have these mounted somewhere. I'm probably going to have the Ecotech battery backups. That's going to have to go somewhere. I'm going to have the Apex with all the modules. That's going to have to go somewhere. So eventually I plan to have like a panel or something that sits to the right or the opposite side of the auto top off itself to kind of give me a little balance on both sides, and also to give me somewhere nice and neat and dry where I can do all my cable management and have all my modules and not worry about moisture, not worry about clutter. I've got a lot of room down here, but I kind of like it open like that with lots of room and lots of space, and I've got lots of room in the room itself. These two are going away. What I plan to do eventually is there's going to be a frag tank that goes over in that corner. I'm going to move my two brute buckets, my 32-gallon buckets, over to that corner. So hopefully this whole L area will all kind of be fish tank oriented, if you will. So that's kind of what's going on in the tank. I think it looks awesome with the lights. I'm really pleased. I can't wait to get the brackets in. I'm going to use the Geisman brackets from BRS. They're really small and sleek and sturdy. And basically I plan on just putting a wood bracket that goes across, and by bracket I mean like a piece of like nice looking 2x4 that I clean up. Basically I'll get 2 pieces of 1x4 pine, and I'll glue them together. Then I'll stain them, poly them to match it, and then I'll attach that to the wall, 2 studs, and then I'll attach the brackets to the wood bracket that I make, and then that way I can center it over the tank, and then I'll hang the short rail kit from the bracket. So more to come, but this way at least I've got light above the tank, so hopefully algae will start growing. I'll go through my diatom bloom, you know, get all that stuff going, and then later on today I'll kill power to the protein skimmer, put the cap on, and then start what I anticipate to be a tedious process to get this thing fine-tuned. From what I'm understanding, if you don't have a significant bioload, this thing can be somewhat tedious to adjust, and that's kind of what I'm referencing. If you have a decent bioload, this is one of the best protein skimmers you can ever buy. But I don't have any bioload. So what I may do is eventually just end up killing the power to it and just letting it sit in the stand or in the sump and just get that film on it, let it break in that way, and then once I start to add fish to the tank, I'll eventually turn the protein skimmer on. But more to come on that. I'll comment on that in full detail on what my experience is in future videos. I guess for now I'll try and stay optimistic, and so that's what's going on in the tank. Like it, subscribe to it, comment on it, let me know what you guys think. But for now, I'm just really pleased with the way it looks, and can't wait to start loading it up with corals and fish. And a lot of the stock from my 75, or excuse me, from my 40 and my 30 are going to be coming into this tank. So I'll be bringing over my flame angel, also my green mandarin, my yellow clown goby, my firefish. I've got a yellow tang in my 20-gallon quarantine that's coming over. I'm debating on bringing over my 6-line wrasse. Not sure what I'm going to do with that, because I kind of want to get a bigger wrasse for this tank. So he may not be coming over. I've still got a lot of research to do and thinking to do as to who's making the migration over and who's not. But I do have a bunch of frags that I've been prepping in the 40 for this tank. I did recently frag some tricolor aquapora, some bird's nest, some red cat montipora. I put on some magnetic frags that I plan on sticking on the back of the overflow. I've got some blue ice candy canes that I frag, some regular green candy canes that I've got. I plan on bringing over all that new Euphilia that I got. So the green toxic coral hammer, or yeah, green toxic hammer. My new torch, my pink tip torch is coming over. My frog spawn, which has been blooming and growing heads like crazy, that's coming over. So don't be surprised if in the next future videos you start to really see this tank fill out, and as I start to put in frags, and anticipate to really fill this up quick. One of my buddies that I recently met on a forum, turns out he lives like right down the street, and he's got a ton of corals for sale. So I anticipate going over there, picking up a bunch of stuff, and filling this out. So more videos to come. Thanks for checking this out. Can't wait to do more videos, and give me a thumbs up if you guys are digging it. Take care, man. Happy reefing.